DJ Durong from Hot 702.5 in Las Vegas, it's time to come together. Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation presents the 24th annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival, going down Saturday, June 21st from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Expo at World Market Center, and it's free to the public. Catch R&B icon Tweet live on stage, plus performances by Kiss Kiss and the Squad, Darnell Alexander, Unk and the Nephews, and Las Vegas's pop princess Ray Millie. Hosted by DJ Ambeezy with Not a Boy DJ and DJ Kelly J on the ones and twos. Stop by and visit the Hot 702.5 FM live remote tent and check in with our on-air personalities. Shop the vendor marketplace, hit up the food trucks, and enjoy surprise guests throughout the night. Presented in partnership with Google, MGM Resorts International, Live You Equals You in the city of Las Vegas. Come together this Juneteenth weekend to celebrate freedom with Tweet and Rainbow Dreams. Get your e-ticket now and be entered to win one of our fabulous prizes. Visit June19LV.com. That's June19LV.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Real connections. Bring your family to the Black Family Wellness Expo and gain access to financial literacy resources as well as health and wellness services. There will be food trucks, vendors, special guests.
Here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m., discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5.
What's up, world? It's your girl, Miss Connie LV, and this is Levels of Intimacy, the Naked Truth. Yes, we are clearly into our first week of March Madness. Yeah, that's where we're at today. We starting out this show with a guest, okay? I am not here alone by myself. I have been dropping gems and jewels, and I've been on my little politics this week, you know, so along with the conversation we had about what's trending in the world today, we're going to talk about the dynamic and the economy. Let me tell you something. Make sure you pouring into businesses, small businesses. I'm not going to say black business only, but definitely pour into small businesses. I don't care what culture you are. I don't care if it's a Latino culture. I don't care if it's Asian. Make sure you pouring into your community and keeping the dollar recycling, because it's about to get real. Shout out. Thank you to Rail, to Down to Earth. That is my plant-based cuisine friend over in Town Square. If you are trying to work on your belly, okay, get your solar plexus and chakras together. How about doing a little detox? Let's stop eating dead animals and start even eating living cells. Check them out over there at Down to Earth Plant Based. Thank you, Terrell, for everything that you do. I so much appreciate you. You know, some of these men are really showing up for us, and some of these motherfuckers are really showing out. Yeah, you know, I'm only going to give you a few seconds of conservativeness. Because when you're naked, you can't be conservative. You got to let it all out. But I'm hearing goddess mode today because I was going to go on an apology tour, but I forgot 2025 is a non-apologetic year because I'm just fucking showing up who I am. I've already had a disclaimer with my mother and discussed that as much as I would like to be the person that she raised, some kind of way some other people got caught up in here, but I'm and my goddessness. You know, I'm keeping it real brown sugary. And my guest today decided to bring it up a notch, okay? Because that tequila and pomegranate that Tyrone gave me last week had too much going on, okay? No, tequila. You will not. You will not. But I always say I show up like that brown sugar, that cognac. Okay, because that's what my guest today brought and wanted us to have in the house as she gets naked with us. So, you know, whenever you want to get somebody a little naked, you give them a little bit of juice. Listen, if that's what they ask for, though, okay? Because I don't... Wait a minute, you got to be careful how you doing everything. Hey, Angela. Hello, everybody on Facebook. Hello, everybody on Instagram and everybody on TikTok. I appreciate you guys coming in. So without further delay, I want to bring my guest in the house. This is my girl, Berlin. Welcome to the house, Berlin. Yes. Hey, Dion. Hey, everybody. So if you are on TikTok or Instagram, you don't see Berlin, but you will hear her in the house. If you like to see her on camera, we are streaming live from Facebook and YouTube. So Hot 702.5 FM is the station that you can tap in and tune into. But Berlin, yeah, this is my girl from work, guys. We both are master stylists over at Look Style Society. She is a bomb.com colorist. I mean, like $1,500 or more. You're not getting ready to get your hair colored by Berlin if you ain't dropping a nice K on top of that, because I watched the skill set and how you concentrate on that. And how long you been at Look?
Ooh, since 2018. But previous to that, I was working in California for like 5 years. So it's been 13 years total.
Okay. So that's where I like to let everybody know where I meet my guests at and how we come to this hour. So I met Berlin in Look Style Society. I'm kind of like, shout out to everybody over there, Paula and dang, what's her name? Amanda. Shout out to everybody at Look Style Society.
Shout out Look Style Society.
Yes, yes. It's so much. And shout out to Bree. You know, makeup by Bree from Look Style Society. She just got awarded a check. She is like really doing her thing. So Beauty by Bree, we so proud of you, sister. Like, you just always glow up out here in our community. But I know I speak to everybody at work. Everybody know me as the friendly. I'm speaking to everybody, even if they don't want to talk. I'm like, hello, good morning. Like, that's what Samantha told me to do. But what is your, like, how do you remember what happened, like our first encounter and how we even got here?
I don't know.
I think it was Shampoo Bowl.
Probably. I feel like I see you at the Shampoo Bowl every time. I'm always there watching my client, just laughing at whatever you're talking about. It's good times.
Yeah.
Good times at the Shampoo Bowl.
So, right. That Shampoo Bowl, it goes down.
It really does.
It really goes down at the Shampoo Bowl in the salon. So I think you heard me discussing, because how did you even come to me to tell me this story? I think I remember hearing you say something that was kind of like similar. And then I was like, girl, like, but I wasn't fully out of that situation yet, so I wasn't ready to fully talk about it. Okay.
And
so mind y'all, this is 7 years, so this is not 7 days, 7 minutes. It's been a little minute this story took place, but we here to talk about the story today. So yeah, I know. I think you heard me discussing the show I had on here prior about asking the necessary questions when we outside dating, when we are meeting individuals. You asking what's your zodiac, but you need to be asking what's your sexual orientation. Okay, what do you identify as? What do you like? You know, these are like important conversations. Yes. And I met a gentleman and he was sending me these Mary J. Blige. I met him like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And by 9 a.m., I think he had maybe clicked on a few things. He might have did a little bit of, scrolling and looking around. So he's sending me Mary J. Blige songs and like, this the kind of woman I want. And I'm like, well, I'm not her. He like, well, if I can't have no woman like this, well, I'm not her. please, like, don't get yourself involved in the situation because I'm not her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that you have to have these necessary conversations about what it is we're looking for and what it is that you are bringing to the table. So I did a quick live earlier, just to have a little quick commercial on this. And it's like, what is the question? You know, because I know when we talked, he said you never asked him the question. So while she tells her story, I would like for you guys to just put the necessary question in the comment box. What should we be asking a man when we meet him, if we are in a heterosexual relationship or if we are in a lesbian or homosexual relationship? Because I think women that date women only want women to date women, but some women, like, they are bisexual and not honest with these partners, because I got a story about that too. But I think you can't even ask, hey, are you bi? Because some people think because they don't do it often, it doesn't count, you know?
Right.
So I've come up with, are you a virgin to every hoe?
Period.
Period. Okay, like, check the boxes. Okay, what are we doing? How many tools are you utilizing in this situationship that we have going on here? But I'm gonna let you tell your story. So once upon a time, not long ago.
Right.
No, you wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
Right. No. Okay, that's
So, okay. So I guess, like, for me, the main topic and the main question is, I guess we have to ask these necessary questions. So my story is basically that, you know, I met somebody that I ultimately ended up being in a relationship with. And
wait, stop. Okay, because I said Berlin, but I didn't even give you a chance to introduce yourself. And before you tell that, I want you to let people know where you met him at. Because I think that's an important part of the story, too.
So I met him at Dre's. Shout out Dre's.
Right.
With my best friend. And, you know, he was cool. He was a vibe. And it was what it was. And from that day forward.
Was it like love at first sight?
Not really. Like, he was just cool and a vibe. And me and my friend were doing our thing. We were dancing, having fun. He was making videos of us dancing, and I was like, I need that man's number so he could send us those videos of us.
Oh,
like,
is that how that got started?
And yeah, from there, like, I was like on some other type of stuff during that time. Like, I was hanging out with a lot of the wrong people during that time. Like, so he was very much pursuing me, and I was in my own world.
Okay.
And yeah, so I don't know.
Was there any red flags, like, in the beginning? Like...
No. So he was actually, like, he was very kind to me, very much chasing me. I was the one that was on my own type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just very patient. And I actually had a conversation with him several months after this, telling him, like, hey, you're not really my type. I'm not really, like, into you like that. And, you know, and he just didn't care. Like, he was just like, I'll grow on you. Like, and I was like, okay, it's the pressure for me, I guess. But, like, if you want to keep taking me out, that's on you. Like, you could keep spending your money on me.
Oh, Lord. So he was using you as his blouse. Is that the correct term?
I guess. So
it was like a beard blouse or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was some, I guess, red flags that maybe I just didn't care about because I wasn't really into him like that at first.
Snap.
And it wasn't until later on I thought about these things in retrospect that I was like, wait a minute, things are adding up, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how did you, so to get to the juicy part, so you met him, you dated him for some time. It got a little bit serious. At some point, you know, you kind of gave in.
Yeah.
Because he seemed to be some bit of a provider. So did you all create an open relationship, or was this a monogamous relationship? Like, you're like, hey, we're going to be serious. And
so I think the thing about him was he has children as well as I do. And I met his children over the course of, like, you know, summertime. And I really did love his kids a lot. And he showed my kids a lot of love. And I think I saw him differently during that time. After that was when I was like, okay, maybe I should give him a chance. Like, maybe I should go for somebody who maybe likes me a little bit more than I like them, or something of that sort. It's like, he's a really good guy. He's religious. He is a good dad. He, you know, checks all the boxes of somebody that I should probably be with, even if I'm not so much into him. And that was at that point moving forward, I was like, okay, maybe I should give this man a chance.
Okay, wait, shout out. You got a lot of fans on here that's tapping in and saying hello to you. They're saying, yes, you're the best stylist. She fire. Unfortunately, I don't have my glasses. Oh, I got my glasses. Where they at? So I could be able to see these folks. Yes, they saying, oh, snap. Sorry. You're the best hairstylist on here. I see Brianna. And what is that name? Oh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot, y'all. I can't see that far. No, that ain't working either. But you got a lot of good support on there. Can you see the names?
A little bit.
Yeah, so make sure you say hello to your guests because they are tapping in. And thank you guys for tapping in. Make sure you copy, paste, and share this show because this is my second time running this conversation back. You know, and somebody else in the shop asked me about this same conversation after the first show. And she said, hey, Connie, I don't even remember her. Oh, it is Brianna. Yeah, Brianna upstairs. So she from Look Style Society. She said, Connie, do you have some type of podcast or something? I said, I have a radio show. I said, why? She said, because my friend sent me a reel of you having a conversation about asking our children what are their sexual orientations or what do they identify as or all of these classifications. And I think maybe her son was struggling and trying to explain something to her. So it was a way that they were able to open up the conversation about what her child may have been interested in. You know what I'm saying? And I think when I talk to a lot of people who have certain lifestyles that they are not comfortable enough to share, it comes from a level of childhood trauma.
Yes.
So what? So what were you saying about that? Like, what was your thoughts about that?
I do think that goes hand in hand with a lot of this stuff. I don't really want to speak too much about that. But
so,
I do think that it very much goes hand in hand with this topic.
Yeah. And well, I'll keep speaking on it because I spoke with someone today. My best friend's son, you know, he identifies as something else. I don't want to say it because I'm not fully versed on it, even though I do have the definitives here. And I'm going to go over the list because I think that we really do have to ask ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because I have always identified as a heterosexual being. But after I did the show, I remember asking myself, like, I'm feminine. Like, okay. And it's funny because my friend Shanae, she was like, oh, everybody know Connie never dated a girl. Like, I've never been interested in girls. I don't like breasts. I don't even like big niggas with titties. Like, excuse me. I don't like larger gentlemen with breasts. So I just never have, you know, it's just not my generation. I don't know. So I got on topic. But I gave the information from the show, and I am a diehard Kevin Gates fan. Like, do you know who Kevin Gates is? Yes. I love you, Kevin Gates. Like, on a whole nother level. And I caught myself in the car singing this man's song that was so inappropriate for a female to be singing. And I was like, Connie, what are you doing? You know, and it's like, yo, I think I was one of them different type of sexuals because sometimes I can give off some masculine energy, but I'm not gay, a stud, lesbian. I'm none of that.
I definitely can.
Yeah. So it's like you got to be careful how you even out here moving because I do have women approach me like, if it was me and you, and I was like, going where?
Right.
Doing what? Like, no, I can just fight and I like to cuss and I can drink a little bit. I'm not there, girl.
Right.
But I think we have to have these conversations. I don't knock nobody. Whatever you into, you into.
Right.
But like we discussed before, because I don't want to over talk, but I can feel there's a little bit of nervous.
Yeah,
other
I
show.
mean, I'm nervous, but I'm here. I'm ready.
So yeah, I want you to tell your story. So you say you met him at Dre's. Shout out to Dre's.
Right.
Red and black. Always be careful of a club red and black. I love Dre's though, but Dre's, I think I left my keys there. A Cleveland Brown weekend takeover. If anybody worked there, you found a set of keys. Those are mine. But yeah, you met him at Dre's. You kicked it off. So at what point did the relationship change where you became a couple?
So that's kind of like to be determined. We don't really have like a day.
Like, was it like 4 months in?
It was
Because
like,
what was a total relationship?
You know what? To be honest, we see that's the hard part because we were so wishy-washy. There's a lot that unfolded after like things were really good.
Okay.
It took a turn.
Okay.
And things just got weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't have like a specific timeline. We were together from this day and we broke up this day per se.
Okay, so was y'all dating like a month, 2 months?
No. I mean,
when did you find out that? How did you even find out about the other person?
So I had to move out of my apartment.
Okay.
I was actually living with my daughter's dad, my ex-fiance. So we were separated. We were separated for like 2.5 going on 3 years at this point, and we were like, yo, we cannot keep doing this. This is very like unrealistic.
Okay.
So we decided like we're not going to do this. After this lease term is done, we're out.
Okay.
And I had told this man that, and he was like, you should just move in, like I'll help you and your kids and you can stay here and you can this and that and whatever. I thought about it. I had multiple options. He was an option, a friend was an option. I had a few different options. I talked to my
So you wasn't pressed?
Yeah, I talked to my ex-fiance about it, and he was like, he actually was the one that told me this is your best option, that I should go with him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And ultimately that's what I did.
Okay.
So it wasn't until I actually moved in. Things were like, good at first. But there's like a ledge at his house, like a hallway with a ledge. And him or his dad would come home and they would throw the mail there. And I would notice like this girl's name would always like come up in the mail. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was probably an ex. Aside from that, there was a lot of her stuff still left in the house.
Okay.
That I was kind of like, really? Like, can you just toss that? Like, but I am a human and I tried to look her up, but nothing was coming up.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm talking to my best friend. Like, I'm talking to people. I'm like, I cannot find this person.
Right. So you saw her name in his phone and you just start looking for the first name in social media,
in the
you
mail.
Because it was
the
mail,
like it's full like government first and last name, and nothing was coming up.
Right.
So I'm like, what? But he had made a comment to me like several months before. I was on a trip in Jamaica, and I had posted a picture of myself that he was like, he kind of was like talking a little smack about it. He was like, oh, this is like a very risque photo. Like, what are you, an OnlyFans girl? And I'm like, I could be. Like, right. I'm not, but I could be.
Right,
like,
a period.
Yeah, and he's like, he made this comment to me that I thought was a little interesting. And he was like, well, my ex was on OnlyFans and she made like 10 G's a month on OnlyFans. And I'm like, why'd you have to put a number on that?
Right.
That was weird, but okay.
And why you gonna come to me like that if you know it's lucrative?
Yeah, I'm like, that was a strange comment, but okay. And then I talked to my best friend after, and I'm like, it's so strange to me that he made this. And she was like, girl, who is this girl that is making 10 G's on OnlyFans? She must have a following. She must be somebody. Like,
right.
First of all. And I'm like, you're right. I guess that didn't hit me, but. So all of a sudden, this mail's coming in. I'm looking up this name. I'm not finding nobody.
Okay.
But another piece of mail comes in, and I see this name, and I'm like, oh, this is an OnlyFans name.
Oh.
Like, it was a very obvious stage name.
Even though he said it, you never put her name in OnlyFans, huh?
Well, it was a different name that came up in the mail. It was like, this name, Entertainment LLC. Okay. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's the OnlyFans name right there. This is what I need to look up.
Okay.
So, I send this name to my best friend, and I'm like, girl, this is the name right here. Mm-hmm. And at that point, that's when we found out.
What? You can't just. What did we? What? She looked up the name.
Yeah, we both looked up the name, and we were just dumbfounded. So the pictures of the girl came up, and along with the pictures, it's hashtag trans, hashtag shemale, hashtag all that type of stuff. And I'm like sitting there like, there's no way.
Right.
Like, there's no, this man is religious. This man is like, he was so sweet. Like,
right.
No.
Right.
But I'm like sitting there, like, I look like the meme of like the lady and like the math equations are all over. And I'm like, wait, but things are kind of adding up now. Like,
OMG.
So I'm like, it has to be like, I'm like, there's shoes in the garage that are size 10, like 11, like that are girl shoes. And I don't know whose those are. Like, so I'm just sitting there like, wait a minute, like, is this, like, was he with this person before? So I didn't have a lot of answers.
Right, because you're just going off mail. So it could have been the person that lived there before.
Yes, exactly.
You don't even know if this is really somebody you're in a relationship with.
Yeah, not yet.
Right,
So
okay.
I sat on it, and I'm just, like, spiraling, going through all this. And so I approach him, and I approached him in probably the worst way possible.
Oh, God. What
I
did you
could
say?
not hide it. And I literally approached him, and I was just like, are you gay? And he looked at me, and he was like, offended that I would think about him that way.
See?
Completely offended. And he told me he was offended. He was like, no, I'm not. I can't believe you would think about me that way. Like, I like women, like just totally like making me feel like I was wrong for even thinking that was my roommate. That's why the mail comes in.
So wait, stop. So you're asking him if he's gay based off looking at somebody else's page that you haven't really associated him with.
Yeah.
Right? At this point.
Yeah.
So you look this person up, and there haven't been any other warning signs.
No. So, I mean, I looked up like her page, and this was obviously like her, it was an Instagram page that I found.
Wait, but it wasn't your partner. Or was it?
It was because I was moved in at this time.
Hold up, girl. Hold the hell up. So he was the tranny on the
Oh, no, not him. Oh. No. No, not him.
I was like, wait a minute.
He was technically my partner during this time. But this was my first, like, I'm knowing who she is now.
Okay.
But because of the comment that he made to me when I was in Jamaica, like, oh, my ex was on OnlyFans. She made whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. When I had looked up her account, she was very popular.
Okay.
On Instagram.
Oh,
had a
so
lot
it's
of
his
followers.
girlfriend.
So that led me to believe, like, this is who you were in a relationship with because you told me you had an ex on OnlyFans.
Oh, shit.
So I'm
You
like, this.
went special victim unit on them. Law and order. Boom, boom.
Right.
Okay, crack the case. Finish.
Yeah, so I'm like, this has to be her because if he had an ex on OnlyFans, this girl's clearly on OnlyFans. This person's mail is coming to the house. This is who you must be with.
Okay, so you say he gay. Ask him if he's gay. He says he's offended because in his mind, because the man is dressed as a woman, and that's his ex-girlfriend, he doesn't identify himself as a gay man. So what is he identifying as?
He just said he's straight. He likes women, and that's that. But he actually denied this person being his ex or anybody that he said I was never involved with this person.
But he had told you his ex. So
well, I kind of knew, but he denied it.
So did you and her ever talk?
No, but I did see a post that she had made on her profile that was very clearly about him. It didn't, mention his name, but it mentioned how she was in a relationship with somebody and they went through like a religious, spiritual journey. So on and so forth. And I'm like, this has to be him because he was going through like a spiritual journey. So, and I saw that.
Conflict.
Yeah. So I'm like, this has to be him. There's no way it's not him. So, moving forward, not that I believed him because I didn't, but I just took it for what it was. And I moved forward because I already lived in his house. My kids are there.
So wait, let's get naked.
Yeah.
What was the sex like before you knew opposed to the sex after you knew?
Oh my God.
Was it the same? Or did you notice like a shift? Or was like in the beginning, like, did you have control? Did he have control? Was he more of a sub or was he more of a dominant?
To be honest with you, I feel like he never like really knew what to do. And that was something that I had kind of like, that was a red flag, because I'm like, wait a minute, this makes a lot of sense now.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm like,
Like, he paying the bills and I can stack my money and get my life together.
Yeah. So from that point moving forward, I just felt like I spiraled, because I kind of knew he was lying to me. And I felt like I have to figure out the truth, because a lot of her stuff was still there in the house. Like, it was, this clearly belonged to this person.
So like when you were in Jamaica, she probably was there.
Probably. I did find out things like later on about him like being with her during the time that like his kids were there for the summer and stuff. Like, he was using me as a scapegoat to like hang out with her. And I didn't find out about these things till later on, which kind of sucked. But anyways, so from the moment that I, I found her page, I could not pin him on like a, hey, you were really with this person. But I think the thing that bothered me was I felt like, I have nothing against trans people.
Me neither.
I grew up
nothing against trans community.
Yes, I grew up with somebody who became trans, female to male, one of my best friends. And I felt like it bothered me because I'm like, if this is somebody that you were with and this is somebody that you truly loved, like, you're denying this person. You're
denying that person.
You're denying them and you're just lying on them.
Yeah.
And I would prefer for you to just be honest with me. And I think that's why I spiraled, because I'm like, wow, you're just denying this person, and that's not right. And moving forward, I kind of left it where it was, but it was always in the back of my mind. And he actually like ended up going through my phone like maybe 2 months or so after, like around Christmas time. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I kind of let, like my best friend, and so like I would be like, oh my gosh, like this man, and she'd be like, oh well, he's gay anyway, or like she would kind of say some like dumb stuff, and I wouldn't tell her not to say that. Like, I would just leave it be.
Wait, she said it to him?
No, to me. Like, if like we're having bestie combos.
Yeah, exactly. And, right.
Like I would be like, oh, like, whatever. And when he went through my phone, he saw these messages, and he confronted me about it, and he was like, I'm about to go to, Christmas with your family, and I'm about to do this and that, and you're over here talking about me like this, and, whoop de whoop, whatever. And you're not telling your friends not to say these things about me. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have nothing to say, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so I actually, I went to my family's house by myself for Christmas, and everybody was like, where's your new man? Where's your new boyfriend? And I was like, I took total responsibility for that. I was like, you know what? Like, we're going through things. I'm trying to fix it. It's my fault. And it was crazy because I actually had a gift sent to him during this time. And the girl that dropped off the gift for me, she messaged me and said, I handed it to the girl at the house.
Girl.
And I was like, a girl in the house? Like, wait, what? And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like,
I was starting to feel sorry for her.
Yes, I'm over here like taking full responsibility to my family, like why he's not here. And I'm like, wait, what girl in the house? Like, I'm like, did he just create like a fight with me so he can spend Christmas with somebody? Like, what is going on?
Right.
So,
Denial is a river.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That song is that. When I thought about this episode, I was like, this like Doechii. Denial is a river. She just said she was arguing with the woman, then found out it was a man. Like, this is the time we're living in. This is not this is not like, oh my God type of story. And I saw Tamani saying there, I've never had that experience. I never had to ask about sexual orientation. But I know that I've never dealt with a man who I felt was soft or weak. But I have here to myself come in contact with some nonsense and noise where a lot of things are being revealed. You know, these big athletic style men, they are sometimes a part of the LGBTQ community. We don't have a problem with that. I love everybody. Okay. I'm just saying I'm not I don't want to have a relationship with someone who is having relations with the same sex. I'm a heterosexual, you know, I like men. So if you date men, I don't want you to date me. You know, I don't want to deprive you of anything that you want, but I don't want you to date me. I don't want you to play with me like that.
We don't want to share that.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't want to share that. You know, and shout out to bedroomcandy.com/11002 because, you know, I am your vagicator. I am all about that pH and that vaginal health. And anything that's going to throw us off is always a bad conversation. But guess what? If you click on the link, you'll see that we have a soap called Pure, and we have different washes, which is specifically formulated for these type of situations. And you know what, fellas, I got something for you too. It's called T-Lube. And it specializes in transgender men. No, wait, transsexual. I think that's when they get the sex change, right? Is it transgender?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to hold on. Let's take a pause and read it because the landscape of sexuality and sexual orientation continues to evolve. So I want to be clear and I want to immerse you with the terms and make sure you understand the diversity of all these experiences. So take notes, everybody. Okay. A demisexual is someone who only experiences sexual attraction after forming a strong emotional bond with someone. So that is that person who is like, oh, they're smitten and they're in love and now they want to share themselves with you. A pansexual, this is just my thought process, okay? So a pansexual is attracted to people regardless of their gender identity or biological sex. So maybe that's what he identified as, a pansexual, and wasn't very versed on, you know, how this breaks down. An asexual, experiencing little or no sexual attraction to others. Wow, okay. Why it just can't be non-sexual? I don't know. Gray sexual, experiencing sexual attraction rarely, only under specific circumstances or on a spectrum between asexual and sexual. Okay, it's getting pretty confusing for me. I don't know about you, but you can rewind this and listen to them over again. And yeah, what she say? That's what I'm saying. Oh, Ashley Angela. Lithsexual, experiencing sexual attraction but not wanting it to be reciprocated. So that might be me. I might be lithsexual, you know, because I am attracted, but I don't want you to touch me right now. Like, I'm just not in the mood for it. Then we have queer platonic. A close non-romantic relationship that is emotionally intimate but not romantic. I think I have.
Is that like a best friend?
I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
Like a girl crush, you know? And it's like, you know, you looking at her nipples like, girl, why is your nipple so hard? You know, but it's not gay, but queer platonic, you know? It's just girl stuff. Girls will get undressed like, why'd you shave your coochie in a landing strip like that? Just take it all off. Then we have a biromantic, experiencing romantic attraction to people of two or more genders. He could be biromantic. Okay. Then we have a scoliosexual, attracted to genderqueer and non-binary. That's what he is. He is scoliosexual. He is attracted to gender, queer, and non-binary individuals.
Well, I think non-binary is people that are kind of, or I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm like,
this is really, really confusing.
It is.
Then you have androgenosexual, attracted to individuals with both masculine and feminine qualities. So it's like you like breasts, but she need a mustache. Or you like penis, but you want her to have titties. You know?
Okay.
I'm guessing. This is just my thought process. I don't know. And then we have reciprosexual, experiencing sexual attraction only when it is reciprocated by the other person. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, so and then that's all new things. That ain't even including the LGBTQ plus.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, I am a girl, Jesus. I want a boy, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I had a guy on here, my friend Markel, and he is gay. He's a gay, black, handsome man. And he's reached the point in his life where he wants children. So I think sometimes, you know, a lot of women do want babies nowadays who don't have children, but you have children. And this is how we getting into these gender queer friendly situations, because it's like, oh, he's gay, but he wants a family, and he actually, if you scale back in one of my earlier shows, he wants to raise his child in a heterosexual household with a lesbian, but he want them to be gay and not take the baby out the house, but they just leave every other weekend to live their normal lives of who they are, and then come back on in and be this fake family. And I'm like, those kids, please put a 529 to the side of therapy, because that baby's gonna be so doggone confused.
Right.
So, you know, and you have children, correct?
I do, yes.
So I just know that at this point, having older children, you have to explain things to them about who you're dating.
Right.
So living with them, dating and leaving, did the children ever inquire?
No. So, I mean, to be honest, like our day-to-day life was very normal. He showed my kids a lot of love. He's a very like outgoing, fun, positive person. I've never in my life met a person who was as positive as he is.
He should have just been honest. Like,
That's
listen,
exactly
I don't even
the
want to have
point.
sex with you, but I want to give you a family dynamic. Like, I think we need to be honest with people.
Yeah, you know, and that's like a conversation that I had with him a lot. I always told him, like, you know, I wish that you were just honest with me, because I really feel like he was trying to change. Like, he went through his religious journey. I feel like he truly like wanted to be more like quote unquote normal. When he was in his previous relationship with, you know, his trans ex-girlfriend, they traveled the world a lot. They made a lot of their money off of OnlyFans. They made a lot of their money just off of like internet type of things. But he was, you know, like I said, going through his religious journey, and he was like, I just want a family. I want to settle down. But he was very much still like embedded in his old ways, and kind of tried to like drag me into those old ways. And I'm like, this is not normal.
I saw a segment today about being an abusive or what is it called? Religious trauma, or it was something about religion and how some people are so traumatized by their teachings, and that's not truly who they want to be. And so they have this constant conflict with themselves about their true identity. You know, you've been like no homosexuality, but you have been a homosexual your whole life. So, you know, it gets a little bit confusing.
Right.
So I just thank God that my children are older. My granddaughter, she is definitely giving something different that I've never, you know, I don't know. She's just a different kind of kid. These kids are different. So it's like, you normally would be having that conversation about, she said, wait, oh, he really is a cool guy. And you're a great girl, Berlin. I love you. That's from Miranda. Thank you, Miranda.
Oh, shout out
yeah,
Miranda.
He seemed like a really cool guy.
He was, you know, like all my friends that met him, like it took them literally within minutes. They were like, they loved him. Like everybody accepted him. They were like, he has a good vibe. He's very positive. Like he always just put himself in there with my friends. Like, so our day to day was always very normal, and people really accepted him. And it wasn't, I think that's why people were very shocked when I came out at the end and I told them the truth about this. They were like, wait, what?
Wait a minute. I have a post here on Instagram. Forever her ex. Oh, okay.
That's my best friend.
She said there's this thing on Instagram. It's called a purple marriage or something, where the gay men marry straight women but are able to still do their thing. So did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
Right. This
Shout out Jocelyn. That's
yes,
Jocelyn.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
That's
Shout
my
out for
bestie
that.
right there.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. I feel like that's what my friend maybe wanted also, for him and his friend to just have this kind of situationship. You know, I think that's, and I think to me that make more sense and create health. Is as confusing as it may seem to you, Ma. Don't call me about the nonsense, okay? Chris, my cousin, because they are traditional.
Yeah.
But we are not living in a traditional world. Hence, this is why we keep seeing this reality show called The Presidential. Okay, I've never seen a president so available ever in his first 90 days of office. This is not a reality show. This is real life. This is a real show. I am a real person. We are not bots. But it's time to stop lying.
Yeah, I think that honestly, that was the main thing for me, was just the lies. And like, what's
the last lie you told?
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
I know the last lie I told.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff that I went through with him, I feel like it's kind of like a little bit of a dark past with him, and it was hard for me to talk about a lot of this stuff moving forward. So,
but why? Because you blamed yourself?
A little bit, and I felt like it was embarrassing.
For him or you?
For me. And I felt, you know, like there was a few times within this relationship, like I feel like he kind of like always wanted to just throw me away like trash. Like we would get into it and then he would be on a date with somebody like literally the next day. And I would just be like, dang, like.
It's almost like a sociopath.
Definitely.
Yeah. Narcissistic sociopath. He had such a vision.
Yeah. He really painted himself out to be somebody that, like, I was the only one that really knew who he was. But I did also try to, like, kind of move on. And I remember, like, going out. I went out to, I want to say it was Excess or Encore with one of my old girlfriends that I'm not friends with anymore. And I remember, like, this man, he actually saw one of my tattoos, an anime tattoo. And he's like, oh, you like anime? And we moved off to the side. He bought me a drink. And I talked to him briefly, and I told him, like, you know what, to be honest, like, I'm here because I found out that the guy that I was talking to, like, basically did gay things in his past. And he was like, were you messing with this person? Because if so, like, I don't want anything to do with you. And I feel like in that moment, I was a little like, I never thought that far ahead that other people wouldn't want me because of him. And I had that realization that, dang, like,
You're being judged.
Yeah, and do I want to disclose this information to other people? Like, I don't want to lie to people about my past like he lied about his past to me. But at the same time, I don't want people to look at me like, well, I don't want you because you were involved with a person like this, because the truth about it was he never gave me an option for me to decide if I was okay with it or not. When I finally found out that this was his ex and this was somebody that he was seeing, we were very well, like, already involved with each other. So at that point, I was like, you took that from me. And now, like, I have to, when I move forward, I have to tell people, you know, I was involved with somebody like this.
But why? Why do you have to tell anybody anything?
To be honest, I just feel like I should, because he didn't tell me. And, you know, like, that is part of my past now.
But as long as you take care of your health and make sure, you know what I'm saying, I don't feel like you have to keep peeling that wound back.
No, but
you definitely have to have that conversation like, hey, I am a heterosexual woman.
Yeah.
And I am looking for a heterosexual man.
Definitely.
Because previously I didn't ask these questions and it caused a lot of confusion in my life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you identify as? Like, do you like a man in any other kind of way? Like with boobs, with a wig? Do you like a man? Period.
Right.
No matter how he dressed, in a suit or in a swim skirt. Yeah. Okay. We that's what we want to know.
Yeah. And I feel like I didn't ever think I had to ask those kind of questions, which is why I didn't. And now that I went through this, I'm just like, hey, this is why my last relationship didn't work. Like, if you're into this, like, I don't want this. Like,
yeah,
I went through this. This was traumatic for me. I mean,
and the thing about it is, you know, as we wrap up the show, people got to understand that nothing is traditional about relationships. You have to figure out what works for you. And sometimes you have to understand exactly what is needed. What it says, what Miranda, you definitely don't have to disclose that with anybody. If you feel like you want to share your hurt, what it says, if you feel like you want to hurt in your growth, definitely. But if somebody judges you because you have such a big heart, fuck them. Period.
Period,
but
Miranda.
Somebody else's vagina.
Miranda, I've known her for many years.
She said,
I love her. Shout out Miranda.
And this is my thing. Everybody is not in a relationship or want companionship to be in a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in a sexual relationship and you want companionship, please be very clear, because we all really want to create healthy communities for our children. And the more honest that we are, the healthier our children will be. Yeah. So I think even if you had to disclose like, hey, I'm really looking for love, but this works. This is healthy for the children, because they were young, don't really understand the business.
Yeah.
But please don't bring anything, in front of my children. But you live your life, I live my life, and we live here. You guys maybe would have still been together.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I feel like once I found out like the truth about everything, I feel like I can never unsee.
Yeah, well, because he lied. It's like once you go on the investigation mode, now I don't trust you. So that's the thing about trust.
Yes.
But as we wrap up the show, is there anything that you would like to just tell the audience or say, or just as a young, single, beautiful entrepreneur out here in this world? What is that? What is a meme, a quote, a life lesson, a message?
I ended up like getting out of this relationship. There's a lot that, happened between that point and now, a lot. I kind of knew I wasn't going to talk about a lot of that stuff. I didn't really want to, but a lot of things happened, and like I met somebody else who accepted me and my past for what it was. Mm-hmm. Shout out to you. You know who you are.
Shout out to you.
However, I just, I think that was something that, it was difficult for me to talk about, and I did talk about it. So I think it's important for people like nowadays and in 2025 to ask these kind of questions. Yeah. And even if people are not honest, like they weren't with me, it's important that we kind of know these things, and it's important for men to disclose this information.
Yes. And you know what? We're not going to be inclusive. Women as well. Women, if you are in a lesbian relationship, please disclose to your partner if you are bi. If you are in a heterosexual relationship, men, please expose yourselves, or let us know that sometimes you do like to dibble and dabble. And I don't even know if you really want to direct everybody to you from the conversation, but you definitely have that will to do it. I really appreciate you, Berlin, coming in, giving your story. And there's so much healing in transparency. The reason we did this today, or we decided to do this in our workplace and bring this here, is because we don't have the family connections that we used to. We don't have the people that we used to have to talk to. But guess what? This is a place of healing. This is a place of growth. This is a place of transparency. This is a place where the spirits will take you where you need to be, and everything will move forward from there. You know what I'm saying? This is the naked truth, because lies only have you stuck and caught up in webs.
Yes. Yeah.
So we want to
definitely learn that.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank Berlin for coming out. And I just want to disclose that I am available. I'm out here in traffic, and I don't want a homosexual man, but you can definitely have erectile dysfunction because I'm celibate, but I do like to go out a lot. So
I don't want that, but it's okay. I found somebody new, so
she doesn't want to deal with erectile dysfunction. I do. I'm too hot. That is HAUTA. It is Connie with the crown. This is the end of my show on this beautiful Wednesday. It's a hump day. It is a disclose what you really want outside, okay? Because we don't want to bring that shit inside. Thank you, Berlin, for coming to the show. I'm your girl, Miss Connie LV, on all levels and platforms. Please make sure you copy, like, post, and share. I'm trying to come up. Love you. Have a good night.
Las Vegas.